Okay, so as promised, we're going to go through our two-step or solving an equation in real life. So let's get to it. If I look at this first one, grab my pen, which I'll put it over here. Here we go. Okay. So I'm going to look at this first one. Now, you guys know when we are looking at not an equation, I'm sorry. When we're looking at a word problem, which is usually when we're talking about something in real life, we're looking at a word problem. You're going to dissect the word problem. So what information do I need to pull from here? Well, I have a number. So remember, we circle our numbers. We have 2 centimeters. We have 8. I have 68 centimeters. Now, normally I would kind of include this. I just didn't want it to be all crazy and messy. Then we're going to look at our question. Our question is, what are the width and length of the rectangle? So the question is asking us the width of a rectangle is 2 centimeters less than 8 times the length. The perimeter is 68 centimeters. What are the width and length of the rectangle? So what is the information that I have? I have a rectangle. So I know what the rectangle is. I have a width and I have a length. I have a width and I have a length. I have a width and I have a length. So it says it's 2 centimeters less than. Well, less than is one of my operation words. So I need to put a box around that. And then the word times is literally telling me to multiply. So I need to put a box around that. And the perimeter is going to equal 16. I'm sorry, not 16, 68. The perimeter equals 68 centimeters. So this is all the information that I know so far. I have something that's going to be 2 centimeters less than 8 times the length. Less than 8 times the length. So let's start with the back part of this. 8 times the length. Okay. So 8 times the length. Okay, I get that. 8 times the length. 8 times the length. Less than, well, the operation for less than is subtraction, 2 centimeters. So I worked backwards. And then this is my length, which I don't know what it is yet. And in a rectangle, the side here, the length and the width are the same. I'm sorry, let me split that up. The lengths are the same and the widths are the same. Make it exactly the same. Okay? So what do I need to know? I need to know what are the width and length of the rectangle. Okay? So now we're going to plan it. What is my variable? The variable is an L. Excuse me. And what did we say L is? L stands for the length. So what I'm looking for is the length of the rectangle. I'm going to run out of space. I'm looking for the length of the rectangle. So what is the equation going to look like? Well, there's 2 ways we can do the equation. If we do this, I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you, it's kind of the long way, but it includes distributive property, and I want you to be able to see that. So how many how many width sides do I have? I have 1, 2, okay. So then I would do this and this, right? And then I have 2 lengths over here. So I would need to combine those 2 lengths. See, can you see that? Does that make sense, hopefully? I have 2 L's. I put that here. And I have 2 of my widths. My width is 8L minus 2. So whatever that is, I don't know what it is yet, which is why I'm keeping my variable. And that's going to equal 68. Down here, I'm going to go ahead and rewrite it. Well, I'm going to do my distributive and write it out. So I have 2 times 8L. 2 times 8L is 16L plus 2L. And then I have 2, I'm sorry, I did that wrong, I'm sorry. 2 times 2 is 4. So let's stick with being in the middle. There we go. So I had this times this, and I kept my L's together. So this times this, I put here, and I brought this over here because I just want it next to it so I can see it, rather than us putting all those circles and everything around the combining like terms. Then I went back to my distributive property and I said 2 times 2, which is 4. Then I'm going to combine my like terms, and I have 18L plus 4 equals 68. So then I'm going to solve. I subtract 4 from both sides because that's a 2-step equation. I bring down 18L equals 68, take away 4. So 68 minus 4 is going to equal 64. Hopefully you can see that. All right. So then I need to divide both sides by 18 so that I can get the variable by itself. 64 divided by 18 is going to give you 4. So far I know that 4 is my length. So over here I'm going to put the length equals 4 centimeters. How do I find what the width is going to be? It's not 4. I have to go back to my original equation. The width is going to equal 8L minus 2. So instead of putting L, just like when we did on the last video, when we had to check our answer, this is where that comes in. This is why I said you need to practice checking your answer, because when you have a 2-part question like this, you still need to take your answer and substitute it into the original problem in order to find the second part of this answer. So I'm going to put a 4 here, minus 2. Order of operations says I do this first. 8 times 4 is 32, minus 2. And 32 minus 2 gives me 30. So that means the width is 30 centimeters. Hopefully that made sense to you. I'll keep that there so you can see. This is one of the more challenging problems, which is why I went ahead and did this one with you, because this is the one I really want you to understand. It is important that because this one you have to visualize it. And if you can't visualize it in your head, write it out. We wrote it out. Then we went through to what we need to know. And then we planned what we needed to do. And then we executed it. But we also had to write what our variable is going to be, or what we are looking for. And we had to look at the equation and write it. So this is going to include everything that we've done up to this point. It includes determining what your variable is. It includes using your cubes tool to dissect the word problem. It includes a multi-step situation where we have to distribute first. Then it includes the two-step equation. So after we've distributed, after we distributed, we had to combine the terms that were alike. So then after we combined the terms that were alike, then we did the two-step equation. Then we got to the one step. Then we had to go back and substitute into the original problem to find the second part of the answer. Because if you notice, the question said, what are the width and length? We found the length, then we had to take that answer and substitute it back into our problem in order to find out what the width is going to be. So I know that this seems like it is a lot. This problem literally took us 10 minutes to do. So on Khan Academy, if you get one of these as a problem, it should take you 10 minutes because you are taking your time and dissecting this problem. It's important that you do this. This is analyzing this equation. Analyzing this word problem, this real life situation. So if you have any questions about this, make sure you are reaching out to me. Email me, put the question on Google Classroom, take a picture of what you're confused with, take a video of what you're confused with and send it to me with your parents' permission. Do not show your face, just do like I'm doing and show what your where you got stuck so that I can respond in kind. Okay? Make sure you've watched the video before you attempt the problems on Khan Academy. Hopefully, I went at a pace that helps you understand what we did. Let me pull that back down. And if you have any questions, like I said, please reach out to me and ask. Best of luck to you guys for this week. Hang in there. We're almost done. And I will talk to you next week.